Hi, welcome to your yoga practice for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get started, just a few things. One is that I will leave a link for a Spotify playlist so you can follow along with the class if you'd like. You can just hit play when we start moving. Second, I will also leave in the notes for the video information if you want to donate to keep these classes going. Anything that you feel that the practice is worth for you is very much appreciated. So thank you for that. We're going to get started. So we're going to start on our backs today. So lay yourself out on your back in a Shavasana shape. And just let yourself relax into this shape, letting the eyes close, letting the arms come down by your sides, palms open, legs stretching out long if that feels okay for your body. And just taking a few deep breaths here to allow the body to soften into the mat. Becoming aware of the weight of the head. And then in your mind's eye, taking a journey down to the neck. Becoming aware of the back of the neck, the cervical spine, and how there's a gentle curve of the spine away from the earth. And as you continue down the spine, you'll feel the thoracic spine, the upper back, starting to come back in contact with the earth, feeling the weight of that area of the body. And from the heaviness of the chest, feeling the ribs starting to soften. The arms, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, just relaxing softly into the earth. And as you travel on this journey down your spine, again, you'll bring your attention to your low back. And again, you'll notice that gentle curve, that natural curve of the spine away from the mat, letting that curve be there. Traveling down to the pelvis, to the back of the pelvis, the sacrum, feeling the weight of that heavy bowl of your bones. And then noticing the legs just releasing out from the hip sockets. Heavy, maybe there's a gentle kind of flopping open of the feet. And as you find a few more deep breaths here, this soft and relaxed shape, I'm going to read you a few lines from the Bhagavad Gita, in which Krishna says, "Let your concern be with the action alone, and never with the fruits of your action. Do not let the result of action be your motive, and do not be attached to inaction." So we're encouraged in these lines when we come to our yoga practice to come without any expectation of what we will get from the practice. We come to the practice, we come to these actions for the sake of the actions themselves. And we never know what reaction our action is going to cause. We never know what effect is going to happen from our actions. But we put our actions out there without attachment, without worry about what happens or what doesn't happen, just letting yourself be in the action. So keeping that in mind as you go through your practice today, noticing if you are trying to achieve some sort of result, or if you can just let yourself go through the actions and leave it there without expectation. So find a few more deep breaths here. Letting your body get really heavy, really soft. Your next breath in can come in just a little bit deeper. And as you exhale, open your mouth, take a big sigh. You can start to find a little bit of movement through the fingers and the toes. Letting the head gently rock from side to side. And as you're ready, letting the knees soften, stepping the feet onto the floor, and drawing the knees in towards your chest, hugging them in, finding a little ball. With a breath in, sending both feet up to the sky, not worrying about whether the legs straighten or don't straighten, just letting the feet get light, and maybe even giving the legs a little shake out here. As you exhale, it's an early happy baby, bending the knees in towards your armpits. You can reach up, maybe you catch the toes, the ankles, the knees. Wherever you find that connection, give yourself a gentle sway from side to side. Starting to deepen the hip flexor. And then releasing wherever you're holding, hugging the knees in toward the heart. Letting the feet come down to the floor on your breath out. Arms stretch out to the side, palms facing the sky. With an exhale, both knees soften over to the left side of the mat. Turning your head to the right for an easy twist. Just a gentle stretch through the body, like you're waking yourself up. Breathing in, bringing yourself back through center. Knees to the right, head to the left. Feeling that opening through the left side of the body. With your next exhale, the left arm comes over to meet your right arm. You're curling into a little ball on your right side. And with your next breath in, you can take your time crawling up onto hands and knees. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. With a breath in, the belly softens, the head and the tail reach toward the sky. Breath out, belly draws up, chin melts toward the chest. Inhaling, front of the body opens for your cow pose. Pushing the floor away as the belly rises, cat pose. One more time, heart floats up, breath in. Navel in and up, shoulder blades widen. Bringing yourself back to a neutral spine on a breath in. Tucking your toes, exhaling, downward facing dog. And again, take some moments, you can stretch out your shape this at the beginning of your practice, giving yourself a few moments to open up, to create some space. Big breath in. And finding some stillness as you breathe out in that downward facing dog. Pressing the palms into the mat, sitting bones reaching away in opposition. With a breath in, like a big wave, rolling out to a plank pose. And as you exhale, it's child's pose. Hips to the heels, softening between the thighs. Big breath here. Gazing forward at your fingertips, sliding out onto your belly, and it's a gentle pressure into the hands for a baby cobra. Breathing in, traveling back through all fours, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Exhaling. With a breath in, the right leg reaches up and back, toes pointing down toward the mat. Knee to the nose, and it's a soft step forward between the two hands. Left hand down, right arm reaches high for a twist. Right side of the neck is long, creating freedom there. With a breath out, top hand down, walking your hands to your left. Turning your toes to the long side of the mat. Fingertips pressing down. Find a long spine as you breathe in. With your exhale, hands melting to the earth, head dropping off of the neck. Prasarita Padottanasana. With your next breath in, rising back up onto your fingertips, long spine. Left hand comes onto the floor under your nose. Right hand finds the back of your pelvis. Spine is lengthening. Big breath in. Now just from the belly, start to twist to your right. And from the chest and from the eyes, sending the right arm high. Seeing if the weight can stay even between the right and left foot. Gently lowering the right hand. Walk yourself back to the front of your mat. Right knee bends. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Plank pose. Big wave of the spine. Inhaling. This time knees to the mat. Toes point behind you. Elbows bend as you lower to the earth. Palms rooting down. Heart floating open. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. On your exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. With a breath in, left leg reaches high. Knee to the nose, softening the foot between the hands. Right hand down, left arm stretches toward the sky. Right heel reaching back, crown of the head stretching forward in opposition. Left hand down, walk your hands to the right, turn your feet parallel. Coming up onto your fingertips, long spine. Right hand to the floor under your nose, left hand to your pelvis. Reaching the spine long, and with an exhale, twisting first from your belly, then from your chest, then from your face, floating the left arm to the sky. Drawing the left outer hip in just a little bit more. Top hand down, turning yourself to the top of the mat, left knee bends, low lunge. Right foot steps forward to meet the left foot. Give yourself some space between your feet and soften the knees so the upper body can really hang heavy. It might feel good to find opposite elbows here. Giving yourself a gentle sway from side to side. Feeling the weight shifting between the 2 feet. Sides of the body lengthening. As you exhale, let your hands release to the floor. Big breath in here. Exhaling, knees bending even more. Tailbone drops as the spine unravels. Coming to stand. Stepping the feet together for your Tadasana. Let the arms reach high for your prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands through your heart, diving over the legs, exhaling. Right foot steps back to a lunge, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Plank pose, rolling yourself out long, straight legs or bent legs, your choice. Bend the elbows, lowering to the floor. Pointing the toes for your cobra, shoulders down the back. Traveling back, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Right leg reaches high, breathing in. Stepping forward on your breath out. Left foot forward, flat back, breath in. Bowing over the legs, breath out. Arms rising for your prayer, gathering it up. Hands to your heart, exhaling. Send it back up for your prayer, breathing in, folding over your legs, Uttanasana. Left foot steps back on an inhale. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, rolling out long. Again, straight legs or bent legs as you lower to the earth. Pointing the toes, shooting the heart open. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left leg high, big breath in. Soft step forward on your breath out. Right foot forward, let the heart open. Bowing over the legs, exhale. Pressing into the feet, arms rising. Hands meet at the heart. Breathing out. Reach it high. Inhaling. Bowing forward. Exhaling. Right foot steps back. Breath in. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Down dog. Breath out. Rolling out long to your plank. This time you can lower to chaturanga or all the way down. Pressing into the palms. Opening the heart. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Right leg stretches high. Breathing in. Stepping your way forward. Breathing out. Back foot forward. Lengthening the spine. Bowing forward. Letting the head drop. Arms rising for your prayer. Breath in. Hands connecting at your heart. Breath out. Sweeping it back up. Inhaling. Melting over the legs. Exhaling. Left foot steps back. Heart forward in opposition. Downward facing dog. Breathing out. Plank pose. Inhaling. Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhaling. Pressing into the palms. Heart rises. Down dog with your breath out. Left leg high. Breathing in. Big step forward. Breathing out. Right foot forward. Heart floats open. Bowing over the legs. Heavy head. Feet ground down as the arms rise. Hands connecting at your heart. Send it back up. Big breath in. Heart leads as you melt into your fold. Right foot steps back. Big breath in. This time it's plank pose. Right away, lowering half or all the way down. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Heart open. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Big breath here. Softening the knees. Looking forward, stepping or hopping to your hands with a breath out. Long spine. Inhaling. Folding forward. Exhale. Arms sweep up to your high prayer. Hands through your heart, folding back over. Exhaling. Left foot steps back. Breath in. Plank pose, making your way toward the earth. Pressing down to open the heart. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Bending the knees, looking forward towards your hands. Make your way to your hands with a breath out. Long spine, inhaling. Folding forward, exhaling. Sweeping the arms high for your prayer. Hands through your heart. Tadasana, arms by your sides. Utkatasana, sit your way back into your chair pose. Big breath in here. Arms reaching long. Folding over the legs as you breathe out. Stretching the heart forward, long spine. Bending the knees, planting the palms, stepping or hopping your way back through your chaturanga, through your up dog, all the way back to your downward facing dog. Big breath here. With your inhale, the right leg rises. Stepping forward, right away it's Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Left heel circles down, arms spiraling open. Heart is wide, fingertips reaching in opposite directions. Pressing into the right foot, lengthening the right leg, maybe walking the back foot in a step as you shift forward into your triangle pose. Right hand to the shin. Left arm reaching high. Breathing in. Exhale, bending the right knee. Elbow melts down to the thigh. Left arm reaches long over your ear. Extended side angle. Again, left side of the neck is really long, creating that space. Hands to the floor for a lunge. Step your way right back through a plank, through your vinyasa. Left leg circles high, breathing in. Stepping forward for your warrior 2, up and around. Back leg is rooting down, energizing that right inner thigh. Pressing into the left foot, extending the left leg, maybe walking the back foot in a step, shifting forward. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathing in deeply. Exhale, left knee bends, extended side angle. Send the weight of the elbow into the thigh, so you're not crunching or collapsing into the shape, but you're creating space. Both hands to the mat for a lunge, stepping your way right back through plank, taking your breath, letting it guide you back to down dog. Right leg high, inhale. Stepping forward, again to that warrior two, up and around. Lengthening the right leg, breath in. Triangle pose as you breathe out. Inhaling. Exhaling, bending the right knee, shifting your way into side angle. You can bring your elbow down to your thigh, or maybe your fingertips reach down to the earth. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Big breath in. Pressing into the 2 feet, lifting up and back, peaceful warrior, right arm to the sky. Cartwheeling the hands down to the floor, low lunge. Left foot steps forward, long spine. Folding over the legs, exhaling. Arms reach high for a prayer. Breath in, hands to the heart. Breath out. Moving into tree pose, lifting the right leg. Rotating out and placing the sole of that right foot into your left inner thigh. Hands can connect back at your heart. If the thigh is too high to reach, you can always place the foot into the inner calf or into the inner ankle, whatever works for you. You can stay here, or maybe the arms start to float high, blossoming your shape up toward the sky. If your arms are open, let your hands connect back at your heart. Paralleling the right foot, big step back for a low lunge. Stepping directly back through plank, let yourself flow through that vinyasa. Left leg rises on an inhale. Stepping forward, warrior two, opening up wide. Left leg lengthens. Breath in, triangle pose, deepening the left hip crease as you go. Big breath in here. Exhaling your way into side angle, elbow to the thigh or fingertips to the earth. Grounding into your 2 feet, lifting up and back, peaceful warrior, left arm high. Cartwheeling the hands down, right foot steps forward, long flat back. Melting into your legs as you exhale. Send the arms to the sky with a big breath in. Hands to your heart, exhaling. Left leg lifts this time for your tree pose, Vrikshasana. Sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh, or wherever it can reach on the right leg. Just making sure that it's not right on the knee joint there. We don't want to put any extra pressure on the knee joint. Again, you can stay here or maybe sending the arms to the sky. Lengthening up through the crown of the head, down through the tailbone. Exhaling, hands connecting at your heart. Parallel the left knee, big step back, low lunge. Exhaling directly back through plank. Let yourself flow with your breath through each shape. Meeting back, downward facing dog. Same beginning, right leg rises. Stepping forward for that warrior two. Up and around. Right leg lengthens, breathing in. Dipping forward, triangle pose on your breath out. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bending the right knee for side angle. Elbow to the thigh, maybe fingertips down to the earth. Now you might stay here with a long left side, or you might play with a half bind, left arm behind the back. Maybe you play with a full bind, right shoulder dipping down inside the right thigh. Now, if you have the bind, try to keep the bind. Look forward at your right foot. It might be a few steps with that left foot as you come to stand at the top of the mat in a fold. If you don't have the bind, let the arms release, Uttanasana. If you have the bind, pressing into that left foot and starting to rise up through the spine. If you can find the length through the spine, maybe starting to extend that leg for your bird of paradise. If you don't have bird of paradise, foot can come into your tree pose. Hands connecting at your heart. If you're still in bird of paradise, you can meet in a tree, sole of the foot connecting to the thigh, hands to the heart. Parallel the right leg. Big step back to a low lunge. Gently lowering the back knee. Releasing the toes. Give your left foot a walk to the outside of your mat. Both hands coming inside the left foot. Coming up onto the fingertips. Let the hips get really heavy. And see if the heart can float open in opposition. You're welcome to stay here. You might also play with coming down onto your palms, maybe down onto your elbows as we shift into this lizard pose. Trying to avoid the tendency to dump the upper body down, really opening the heart here, gazing out beyond your fingertips. You can stay here, or you might play with tucking the back toes and extending the back leg. If you're down on your forearms, you can bring yourself back up onto your palms. Walk your left foot, so it's between the two hands, coming back to a low lunge. If your back knee is on the ground, extend that leg long. Planting the two palms, left leg sweeps up behind you, three-leg dog. Stepping that left foot forward between the hands. Walk the left hand in front of you, shifting your weight onto your left foot. It's Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Right side of the body peeling open. Right hand down, big step back to your lunge. Inhaling. Plank it out, take it through your flow. If you need to leave the vinyasa out at any point, feel free. You can always step back to your down dog. Last round like this, left leg high. Breathing in, stepping forward, finding that warrior two, windmilling open. Left leg lengthens, breathing in. Triangle pose, deepening the left hip crease, breathing out. One big inhale here, shifting your weight forward to your version of side angle. Elbow to the thigh, maybe fingertips to the mat. Maybe the right arm is long, or maybe there's a half bind or a full bind. Looking down at your left toes. Keeping the bind if you have it. The right foot steps forward to meet the left foot at the top of the mat. If you don't have the bind, just let the arms go. You can either rise up to your tree pose, letting the left leg float, or you can rise up into your bird of paradise. Wherever you are, letting the length of the spine be more important than the aesthetics of the shape. Trying not to be attached to the fruits of our actions. And if you're in bird of paradise, you can come back to your tree. Sole of the foot connecting to the thigh, hands to the heart. Paralleling the left leg, big step back, low lunge. Lowering the back knee, releasing the toes. Right foot takes a walk to the outside of the mat, toes slightly rotating outward. Pressing into the fingertips, hips heavy, heart open. Feel free to stay here on the fingertips or taking your time to melt down to your palms, maybe coming down onto the forearms. Again, you're welcome to stay right where you are. You can also play with tucking the back toes and extending that back leg. If you're on your elbows, taking your time to crawl back up onto your palms. Walking the right foot so it's between the two hands. If your back knee is on the mat, tucking the toes, extending the leg. Planting the palms, right leg reaches high, three-leg dog. Knee to the nose, big step forward between the two hands. Half moon, right fingers find the earth in front of you. Left side body floats toward the sky. Left hand steps down, left foot steps back, low lunge. Stepping the right foot back, vinyasa. Exhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out. And there's a few deep breaths in your downward facing dog. Letting the breath lengthen. Letting it deepen. Inhaling, right leg high. Stepping the foot forward. This time, keep your back heel lifted. So you're balancing on your toes. Both arms reaching to the sky for a high lunge. As you exhale, shifting the weight forward towards your right foot, sending the arms back, plucking the left toes up. Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3 pose. Left heel reaching back, heart stretching forward. Knee to the chest, coming all the way up to stand. You can hug that knee in and up. And we're moving to eagle pose here. So crossing the left thigh over the right thigh. If you have space, tucking the toes behind the calf. Left elbow slides under the right elbow, weaving the arms together, and then sending the hips back in space. Hips reaching back, knees stretching forward in opposition. Now it's a little funky in the transition. Pressing into the right foot, start to rise up out of it. Untuck the left toes if they're tucked. Keeping the legs crossed, step the left foot in front of the right foot. Transferring the weight onto the left foot, pop the right toes behind you. So you have like a little kickstand behind you. Big breath in. Exhale, start to bend the knees. The left thigh is still hooked over the right thigh, almost like that eagle shape. And see if you can sit the hips down towards your right heel. Shoulders are stacked right above the hips. Breathing in. Releasing the hands to the earth. Shifting the weight onto the left foot. Standing split, right leg reaches toward the sky. Breathing in. Exhale, step your feet together. You can wiggle back to the center of the mat if you shifted. Long spine. Breathing in. Exhaling, sending your hips back, chair pose. Big breath in here. As you exhale, hands connect at your heart. And it's a twist to your right. Left elbow hooks over the right thigh. Pressing the palms together, heart spiraling up toward your thumbs. Right hip is drawing back. in opposition. Staying where you are, take a look down at your toes. Lifting the left heel slightly. Big step back with the left toes all the way to the back of the mat. And then reestablishing that twist, heart rising toward the thumbs. If you need more support, feel free to lower the back knee down to the earth. If you want to take it deeper, you can bring your left hand outside of the right foot, sending the right arm to the sky for a twist. Maybe there's even a half bind, or left arm under the right thigh for a full bind. Letting your breath be long wherever you are. Hands to the floor, framing your right foot, sliding the left knee forward, tucking it behind the front ankle, and sending the hips down to the mat. Arms rising, big breath in. Exhale, right fingers to the floor. Keep the left arm lifted. Press down into that back hand and let the spine lengthen. And then start to twist first from your belly, then from your chest, then from your eyes, and then you can bring your left elbow down to your knee, pressing the elbow and the knee together, taking it a little bit deeper. With your next breath out, releasing the twist over to the left, soft bow down. Rolling yourself all the way up to sit. Feet down in front of you, holding on underneath your thighs, tipping back to balance on the sitting bones. The feet might come to the height of your knees, or maybe the legs extend. Wherever you are, let the arms reach forward. Navasana, boat pose. Belly drawing in as you inhale, crossing the ankles, rolling over your shins, stepping or hopping your way back, letting yourself flow through the vinyasa. Down dog on your exhale. A few deep breaths here. Left leg high, big inhale. Stepping forward between the hands, staying on the back toes. Both arms reaching high for your high lunge. Feel free to bend the back knee a little bit if that takes any pressure out of the low back. Exhale, tipping the heart forward, tipping the arms back. Warrior 3. Right leg stretching back, heart reaching forward. Right outer hip spiraling down, inner thigh spiraling up. Knee to the chest, rising up, long spine. Garudasana, eagle pose. Right thigh over the left, maybe hooking the toes if you have space. Right elbow under the left elbow. And then sending the hips back, reaching the knees forward. Pressing into the left foot, letting yourself rise up out of it, untucking your right toe, step the right foot in front of the left foot, still crossing at the upper inner thigh. Popping onto the back toes, little kickstand behind you. Bending the knees, right thigh is hooked over the left thigh, so you still have kind of a reflection of those eagle legs. Spine is long, breathing in, hands to the earth, shifting the weight onto the right foot, left leg high for your standing split. Left toes directing themselves down toward the earth. Feet together, maybe wiggling back to the center of the mat if you shifted. Long spine, breath in. Chair pose, sit yourself back. Big breath in here in your chair. Exhale, hands to your heart And take your twist to the left. Right elbow sliding over the left thigh. Left hip drawing back slightly, opening the left side waist even more. Taking a look down at your toes, gentle floating up of the right heel. Big step to the back of the mat, right toes land, and then the heart rises back up into the thumbs. Again, you might stay here. Maybe there's a peeling open of the arms, or maybe there's a half bind or a full bind. If you need more balance support, you can always bring your right knee down to the floor. Gently releasing the hands down around your left foot. Drawing the right knee forward, tucking it behind the left ankle. Sitting bones softening down to the mat. Sitting evenly on your two sitting bones, arms float high. Left fingers connecting to the earth. Press down into those back fingertips and see if you can create more space between all the little bones of the spine. Exhale, twisting, starting just from the belly, and then from the chest, and then from the eyes. Right elbow coming down to the left knee, pressing the elbow and knee together and letting yourself deepen the twist. Your next exhale releases the hands over to the right, counter twist. Rolling yourself up to sit, feet in front of you, hands behind you. Big breath in, exhaling, reaching the hips high. Take a big breath in here, front of the body opening. Exhaling, hips to the mat. Crossing your ankles, rolling over your shins. You can step, you can hop, you can crawl your way back through one last vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Big breath in. Child's pose, sinking it back as you breathe out. Let your concern be with the action alone and never with the fruits of action. Do not let the results of action be your motive, and do not be attached to inaction. Walking the hands back, rolling yourself up to sit on the heels. Hips to the earth, sending the legs around to the front of the mat, and rolling yourself all the way down onto your back. Feet on the floor, hands down, sweeping the back of the heels with the fingertips. Breath in, grounding down, sending the hips toward the sky. Taking the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, and walking the shoulder blades in to extend the heart toward the sky. Now you're welcome to stay here in your bridge pose. If you'd like to move toward a full wheel, you can release the hands, taking the hands down on the floor, palms on the earth next to the ears. Taking a big breath in there, and then pressing down to sweep up into your Urdhva Dhanurasana, your full wheel. If you're in full wheel, chin to the chest. If you're in bridge, release the hands, and then take your time to roll yourself all the way down. Feet on the earth, let the knees take a gentle sway, right to left. Bringing your feet to the floor, knees pointing up to the sky. Start to walk the feet open so the feet come about as wide as your mat. Knees can knock in toward each other, letting the two knees rest on each other. And then giving yourself a big hug, wrapping the arms around yourself. And just letting the back of the body melt into the earth. Release the arms from that hug, drawing the feet together. And then bringing your knees in towards your heart, giving them a little squeeze in here, releasing the back of the body into the mat. On an inhale, sending the feet toward the sky. Again, you can shake them out a little bit here if that feels good. And similar to our eagle pose that we found when we were standing, crossing the right thigh over the left thigh. Bending the two knees. So the right knee is hooked on top of the left knee. Reaching up with the hands and seeing if you can catch the outside of the pinky toes. If you can't reach that, you can grab the shins here. And then with an exhale, drawing the feet both out away from each other and slightly down toward the earth. Seeing if the two shins can create one long line. So the feet are at the same height with each other. Releasing the feet, unraveling the legs, shaking them out a little bit. And moving to the other side, left thigh crosses over the right thigh. Bending the knees and then reaching up, seeing if you can reach the outside of the pinky toes or maybe reaching for the outsides of your shins. And then drawing the feet out and slightly down. Sometimes when you look up, it's hard to know which one's your right foot or your left foot, but play around a little bit. Maybe one needs to go a little bit higher, one needs to go a little bit lower. On your next exhale, releasing the legs, hugging the two knees back in towards your heart. With an exhale, it's a soft roll over onto your right side. Pressing into the left hand, drawing yourself all the way up to sit. Sending the legs out long in front of you, flexing the feet. Sitting up high on the sitting bones, arms reaching toward the sky. With a breath out, starting from the belly, then the heart, the head, and the hands. Letting yourself melt over your two long legs into your Paschimottanasana. Your next breath in rolls you up to sit. And finding a comfortable seat for yourself. And letting the hands rest on the knees, letting the eyes close. And just finding your breath. Letting the length and the ease in the breath start to wash over the body and the mind. And creating more space. Please feel free to stay in this sitting meditation for as long as you'd like. And then when you're ready, you can roll yourself down onto your back, taking a nice relaxing Shavasana. Thank you so much for taking this time for yourself, honoring your effort, your practice. Namaste.